Let us try to do examples that can help us to classify the two types. So we have examples here. There is example number 1. Determine the resistance and series inductive or capacitive for each of the following impedances. Assuming a frequency of 50 Hz, we have A. Our A, we have Z, impedance equal to 4 plus J, Z ohm. Since we have positive, this is like R plus J XL. So we have XL, which is inductive reactance when there is positive. So you have capacitive reactance when there is negative here. So since we have positive here, it means that we have inductive reactance. So now our R, which is resistance, which is R, now it is this 4. Now it is 4 ohm. That was A. That was the first question. Because the first question is asking, determine the resistance. Now we have answered for resistance. Then inductive or capacitive. We need the capacitive and inductive. How are we going to get inductive and capacitive? Remember, since we have XL, which is inductive reactance, our inductive reactance, it is XL, which is 7. It will be 7 ohm. So this is inductive reactance. So now we cannot have capacitive because we have positive. Since we have positive, it will be inductive reactance. So its answer now is 7 ohm. So then, after you know that XL equal to 2 pi f, where this is the frequency, 2 pi fL. So how to get L? L will be equal to our L will be equal to XL divided by 2 pi f. So now, from there, our L is XL over 2 pi f. So what is our XL? We got 7 divided by 2 times pi times 50. Then our L, which is inductive, its answer is we're going to take 7. We are going to take 7 divided by into bracket 2 pi times 50. So now the answer is 22.28 times 10 power negative 3. Remember, the unit of L, which is inductive, we have seen that it is Henry, which is capital H. It is Henry, which is capital H. So this is our inductive. So I told you, let me try to repeat. So we have our impedance here, which is Z equal to 4 plus J 7 ohm. When you have positive, immediately we have to think of this formula. Because when there is positive, it is this formula. When you have resistance and inductive reactance. This is inductive reactance. We have seen that, this one. XL is inductive reactance, where L, only L is inductive. L is inductive. But when it is XL, is inductive reactance. Inductive reactance. That's the difference. So now, we have given inductive reactance, but they're asking us inductive. And that inductive is L. So since we have resistance, which is equal to 4, and we have inductive reactance, which is 7. So the formula for inductive reactance is 2 pi FL. 2 pi times frequency times inductive. So the question is to get this inductive. We have to make this one as subject of the formula. So we divide both sides by 2 pi f. So that's why inductive is equal to XL over 2 pi f. After here, so what is XL? Our XL is 7. Divide 2 pi f, our frequency is 50. So now the answer is 22.28 times 10 power negative 3 Henry. So let us try now to get what is the remaining. Okay, so we're going to do number B. So let us try to do number B. Let us start B. Our B, Z equal to negative 20 J ohm. From when there is a negative, it means that it is like Z equal to R minus J XC. So where this is capacitive reactance. So from this formula, you can see that our Z will be equal to 0 minus 20 J. So which means that our resistance, which is R, equal to 0 ohm. Remember the question is asking us to find the resistance and the inductive or capacitive. So therefore, if our resistance is 0 ohm, so what is our capacitive reactance, which is CXXC? So our XC, which is capacitive reactance, equal to 20 ohm. And remember from the formula, XC equal to 1 over 2 pi FC, where this C is capacitive or capacitance. So now how to get this C? Our C will be equal to 1 over 2 pi FXC. What I have done, I have XC equal to 1 over 2 pi FC. We do cross multiplication. We get XC 2 pi FC equal to 1. Remember, we want to make this one a subject of the formula. I have to stay with this. So I have to divide both sides. 2 pi F XC over 2 pi F XC. So we're going to stay with C, which is capacitance or capacitive, equal to 1 over 2 pi F XC. So that's what I have written here. So now our capacitive or capacitance will be equal to 1 over 2 pi. Frequency is 50 times XC, which is 20. So now C equal to, the answer will be equal to, we just take, we use calculator, we take 1 divided by into bracket 2 pi times 50, then times 20. Then the answer is 159.154 times 10 power negative 6 farad. Remember the unit of capacitance is what? Is farad. So that was B, because the question was asking resistance, inductive or capacitive. So let's go to C. C is saying we have Z equal to 15 CIS of negative 60 degrees ohm. Remember, we have seen that when you have Z equal to RCIS angle, this is the same as R into bracket cos angle plus I sin angle in a complex number. But now we are not using I, we are using J. So which means that our impedance now is 15 into bracket cos of negative 60 degrees plus J sine of negative 60. I hope you remember that when you have cos of negative angle, it's the same as cos of that angle. And when you have sine of negative angle, equal to minus of sine that angle. So which means that our impedance equal to 15 into bracket cos of 60 degrees minus J sine of 60 degrees. So what is cos 60? It is a half. That is 15 into bracket a half minus J root 3 over 2. So finally, our Z equal to 15 times a half, that is 7.5, minus J 7.5 root 3, then ohm. That is our impedance. The question is to find, we have a negative there. So it means that its formula is R minus J XC. So meaning that you have inductive reactance. So for this formula, our R is, which is resistance, our resistance, which is R, equal to 7.5 ohm. So what is capacitive, which is capacitance? So XC, which is the capacitive in reactance, equal to 7.5 root 3 ohm. So we have seen that capacitance equal to 1 over 2 pi fxc. From xc equal to 1 over 2 pi fc. Then finally, this c equal to 1 over 2 pi f x xlc. So our capacitance equal to 1 over 2 pi, what is f? Our frequency is 50 times the value of xc. The value of xc here is 7.5 times root 3. It is 12.99 ohm. So then times 12.99. So our C now is, we take 1 divided by 2 pi into bracket 2 pi times 50 times 12.99. We close the bracket. Then we get our C is 245.04 times 10 power negative 6. What? Farad, because the unit of capacitance is farad. So I think you don't have any question. So I hope there is no question from here. If there is no question, let me give you exercise to close this unit. We're going to close unit complex numbers. What we're remaining with division questions. So let me give you exercise about this one.